Congress isn't in session, but a secret vote to ban earmarks is well on the way. Senator Jim DeMint lining up the votes as we speak. And it didn't take much to get Utah Senator-elect Mike Lee to sign on. He joins me now. Mr. Senator-elect, welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's good to be with you.
Now, am I right in saying that this secret ballot next week has nothing to do with Congress? It's a secret ballot of Republican Party people in the House and the Senate, actually, just to get a sense of a lie of the land. Is there unity on banning earmarks? That's what the vote's all about, is it?
Yes, and I think there is widespread support for the fact that we need to reform the earmark process rather aggressively, and that's what this is all about.
It's not a universal agreement amongst Republicans, is it? I mean, I see banning earmarks as a Tea Party idea. You're putting that idea to the Republican Party, but you don't yet have universal approval of it within the Republican Party. Would I be right in that?
You may well be right on that, but there is overwhelming support for the idea of doing this. Sure. The idea we've got is that we need to put a moratorium, a temporary complete ban on the Republican conference requesting earmarks. And I think that ban needs to remain in effect until such time as we can get the whole process reformed so that we don't have this log rolling, this trade making. The Cornhusker kickback and the Louisiana Purchase that gave us Obamacare are the sorts of things that are leading to the unfettered expansion of the federal government.
I'm just going to roll in a little tape from Senator Mitch McConnell, who thinks that maybe banning earmarks doesn't save much money. Just listen to this for 1 second, sir.
I'd be willing to consider it. The problem is it doesn't save any money. It's an argument about discretion. What we really need to do, Bob, is to concentrate on reducing spending and reducing debt. And this debate doesn't save any money, which is why it's kind of exasperating to some of us who really want to cut spending.
How do you respond to that? Mr. Senator-elect, how do you respond to that? He says very clearly it doesn't save money.
Well, again, that presupposes that we don't get bigger government as a result of the sort of deal-making that we had when Obamacare passed. Look, neither Obamacare nor the Obama stimulus package nor TARP would have passed if it weren't for these sort of sweetheart deals that were cut in the back room in order to give some perceived advantage to the key people casting votes for those programs. And that's what's leading to the unfettered expansion of government.
It sounds like
look at the federal budget.
It sounds like it's good politics, as if it's got really good political appeal at this moment right after the election.
Yes, but it's not just good politics, it's also good policy. Look, when you look at a mile-long freight train from a distance, when you try to identify the engine car might look like a very small piece. It might look like 1/2 of 1% of the entire length of the train, but it's what's driving the train. And I think that's how I look at earmarks. And I think that's how Congress needs to look at earmarks as well.
I believe you also want a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution. Is that correct? And that's what you're going to push for. That's one of your aims to get out there on the books, correct?
That is correct. There's a group called Balanced Budget Amendment Now that yesterday released text of a proposed amendment that I would support. And I think we need to get that on the books. We need to lay down the gauntlet and just decide we're going to balance our budget.
But that's a very long-term prospect, because a constitutional amendment, you've got to get agreement of X number of the states and the legislatures all across the country. I mean, you're talking at least 10 years to get that on the books, aren't you?
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to take that long, but long-term prospect or not, it has to be done. Some of the most worthwhile endeavors that we have explored through our federal government have proven to be long-term, but this is very, very important. Paying down a debt that within a year's time will reach $15 trillion is a long-term activity, and it's something we have to start focusing on right now.
But you want to start paying it down, not just limit its growth, you want it down. That's your objective.
Well, yeah, look, the minute we can start paying, the minute we stop accumulating new debt, we stop deficit spending, is the minute we can start paying off, however incrementally, the principal on the national debt.
How long do you think it will be before we can realistically end the ongoing annual deficit?
You know, that remains to be seen. The Congress as it now exists is not the Congress as it will exist a couple of months from now. And I think the political will exists among the American people to get a balanced budget amendment in place very quickly, and within a year or two or three, start moving toward a balanced budget every single year. But that remains to be seen. Now, those who ignore this demand from the voters will do so at their own peril.
Yes, sir.
2010 could well prove to be just a minor prelude to the kind
Mike Lee,
of...
I regret to say, sir, I'm flat out of time, but Senator-elect Mike Lee, Republican, Utah, thanks for joining us, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you.